Saw his chance and he took it.
Ferguson goal! And my word, Ireland needed it. Qualification on the line for the finals in North America next year.
Yes, the road to next year's World Cup starts a week on Saturday when the Republic of Ireland face Hungary in Dublin. Join us from 7 o'clock for that. And then Heimir Hallgrimsson's side travel to Armenia for match number 2 of the qualifying campaign on Tuesday, the 9th of September. It's live here on RTE2. Coverage begins at 4:30. Yeah, really looking forward to those 2 qualifiers to kick off our World Cup qualifying campaign. And indeed, there's plenty of positivity around Irish football at the moment with 2 Irish clubs involved in Conference League football tomorrow night. Shelbourne and Shamrock Rovers both in with the possibility of qualifying for the group phase. And wouldn't that be wonderful to get 2 clubs? But unfortunately, Richie, if you're an FAI employee at the moment, you can only be concerned with the news about the restructuring that is planned within the organisation that came out today.
You'd be particularly concerned, yeah. I think it must be a pretty demoralising day for the staff in particular, but for everyone with a invested interest in Irish football. I spoke to some of the staff today. There's a lot of really strong feelings around the fact that there's no clarity on how many redundancies are being sought, no insight as to what the criteria is being used. There's no vision at all being presented to the staff about what the association will look like from next year onwards. And they're disgusted that the phrase that the organisation lacks the framework and the skill set to deliver the plans. So it's difficult for the staff, but for those of us who've been watching the FAI for years and how they've been managing football in this country, the statement started very positively. It said this is a transformation programme to modernise how football is developed and delivered, which is a hell of a way to open up a statement which is saying we're going to let a lot of people go, but we're not going to give any more details.
Alan, from what you've read and from the people you've spoken to, what do you think has driven this particular strategy?
Well, they'll say obviously it's a restructuring in terms of moving the thing forward, but like Richie said, for years I always felt that Irish football would be fixed and could be fixed, Peter. The more the years tick by, and in terms of new regimes going in from past legacies without going over old ground, new regimes and even the people that are there now, it's very hard to have any trust and confidence because it's constantly dysfunctional. And that's all we're reading about. You said there's a lot of positivity. There is in certain little departments, Peter. And if that was the story tomorrow with the 2 clubs and the League of Ireland story, and you can kind of point to little things and little areas where you say, oh, that's good, that's good. But as a whole and as a collective, in terms of driving the whole thing forward, it's dysfunctional, and it has been for years and years, as long as I've been involved in Irish football.
Yeah, there are a number of quotes that stand out in the statement that was issued today, but they talk about introducing specialist skill sets. Surely that's just a matter of retraining current staff who have knowledge of the game and everything else.
You could run through the whole statement and there's no information in it. There's lots of corporate speaking buzzwords, and it's been a lot of thought has gone into how it's worded, but it's essentially a statement saying that the staff we've got aren't good enough to deliver what our plans are, without saying, here's what our plans are. Here's what the restructuring is going to look like. Here's the vision. Stay with us. Stay behind us because this is where we're taking you. Here's how we're going to fund it. That's where the investment is from. Here's what we're doing differently. This is just a statement saying the people we've got, according to the statement, don't have what it takes to take us where we want to go, but there's no indication of where we're going to go. There is no funding, no budget for women and girls football. There is no funding, no budget for academy football in this country. We've been listening for a long, long, long time. We've been like urging the thing to improve. Like it's not like we sit here every time we talk about the FAI. It's negative.
The problem you have, Peter, now, and sometimes I wonder, do people actually have a full grasp on just how bad it is? Yeah, I was at a briefing today in terms of the academy kind of restructuring and the recent audit that was done. Very good kind of piece of work, very good document, good people involved trying to improve the thing, and obviously they're clamouring to the government now for that investment and that funding. If that doesn't come, Peter, like honestly, like and the comparisons that are being made currently on this document, as I say, with our kind of League of Ireland underage setups, it's not with the elite clubs across Europe. It's with the minnows of Europe. And we are lagging behind the minnows of Europe. And I'm not sure, as I say, you can point to next week and the senior team, and if we get off to a good start, then it's great. But the whole piece is so far behind, it's untrue.
So does that not suggest, Richie, that a restructuring plan is a good idea? Considering all the issues that are driving it.
Show me the plan. You're asking me to assess a plan without giving me any detail about who wrote it, what's involved, what's it going to cost, how's it going to be funded, where are we going?
Or what the restructure will look like.
Here's another question I have. They don't have the sufficient skill set within the organisation to go wherever. Is that being asked of the people at the executive level? Around the top table, the board, the people on the high earners in there. I wonder what's the official line.
But that's
internally.
highly unlikely.
I wonder, are the
unlikely.
people who have mismanaged the finances or got the FAI into a situation where the statement today is where we're at, those people who've been behind the wheel, not the people who work in grassroots football who's going to lose their job, the people who've been behind the wheel for the last number of years, are they included in the review here? Could they be asked to come forward and accept redundancy? Will they be forced to take a redundancy?
Like a small example, Peter, to use, like the technical director that was appointed, Mark Hannum, came in with the bright idea, which some of us agreed with. I did, about this, a line in the summer soccer, and you can have your views and opinions on it.
There's no substance to that plan, but we won't get into that.
No, but it was shelved within, and he's gone now. So the next one that comes in now, what will his bright idea be, and where's the confidence to support that as well from an executive committee or a board to actually follow through with that? So in terms of all this stuff, and you're looking for solutions around this, I'd be looking for some leadership from the people at the top to actually keep morale, that some sort of positivity around morale, because from speaking to people involved at the moment who are obviously worrying about their jobs tonight, morale is at an all-time low, Peter.
But is it unfair, Richie, to rush to judgment at this point, considering the FAI has been an organisation in transition in recent years, and there are a lot of new feet under the table out there, and I suppose they have to make their impact on the future of the organisation as well?
I don't think rushing to judgment is a phrase that belongs anywhere near a conversation about criticism of the FAI. There's been so many issues for so many years, lots of statements. Sometimes we were using the phrase the new FAI, do you remember? We all bought into that for a little while. And here we are today. Like, a couple of examples. You used the point rightly. I don't think people realise, like, not everyone was at that briefing today, and not everyone's interested in the statistics and the comparison with other countries as to where we are in academy football and all of that. But, like, do you remember the women went to the World Cup a couple of years ago? And we all sat here in the studio and said, we've got to build on this. Without anyone actually sitting there saying, there's no money, there's no guidance, there's no plan, there's no leadership. Why do we think we will be back here again? We're going to meet again for the Ireland senior men's team shortly, and we'll have a discussion about where we get to the World Cup. Like, how we talk about ourselves sometimes is completely at odds with the reality of where Irish football is. And by that I mean the funding, the investment, the facilities, comparisons to other countries. And I'm not talking about comparisons to Belgium, Portugal and Croatia. The so-called minnows, they're our peers now. That's where we're at.
So it'll be interesting to see if any further detail follows in the wake of that statement today. Anyway, it's in this so-called time of accountability. Hopefully the process will be a fair one way or the other. OK.